extreme black market body modifications. Now, my next guest, bodybuilder Greg Valentino, admits that steroids nearly destroyed his life. At the height of his career, Greg admits to shooting massive amounts of illegal black market steroids, into his body every day with the hopes of having the biggest biceps in the world. But that dream exploded, almost literally, when his bicep exploded and he was arrested for selling steroids. Yeah, listen to his story.
My name is Greg Valentino. I'm known as the most hated man in bodybuilding and the man whose arms exploded. Growing up, I was always a short kid, and I knew if I couldn't grow taller, I was going to grow wider and get noticed. I trained 23 years, no drugs, and I got huge. 21-inch arms, naturally, no steroids. You know, I'm training new kids coming in the gym, they're asking me advice. Before you know it, they're walking around bigger than me. So it was time for me to start using some steroids. The day I started using steroids, I was huge. The results made me nuts. I was reusing needles to the point where I didn't care about anything. I couldn't wait to get that stuff in me. I'm known as the man whose arms exploded. This here was from an infection. That's a hole. You see when I go like that? I mean, most people, if you had to get a shot, you'd probably go to a doctor. I'm over here. So, you know, I didn't care. I got an infection. I don't want to stick a needle in there, pull it out. Or I got a hematoma. I'm not going to stick a needle in there and pull it out. I'm sticking needles in myself all the time. Getting arrested, it changed my life. Because I knew, yo, this sucks. You know, I'm a guy who never drank, never smoked, never did anything in my life. And I'm sitting in a jail like a criminal. And it was time to make a change. I would never do steroids again. I no longer care if I'm big or built or what people view of me like that. Right now, I just like being alive and I love being around my children. That's it.
So, Greg, let me ask you your journey. Yeah, there's lots of pictures like that. Now, I see that and you immediately think, why would anyone want to look like that?
I should have my head examined. I don't know why anybody would want to look like that. You know, you don't start out wanting to look like that.
Right.
Well, not with me. I was a natural bodybuilder. I was winning shows. I was undefeated. But what happened was I lost my gym. I owned a gym.
Right.
I lost the gym, and I had a kid, a newborn baby, and I wasn't making money. And what happened was I had a friend that said to me, man, you know, because you know all of pro bodybuilders, you know, you've competed for years, you know everybody. I can get drugs, steroids. And you know everybody, so I'll tell you what, you sell it, and that's how that started.
So you were making a lot of money doing
right,
that?
when I was selling the drugs, I'm not going to lie. So I'm thinking, you know what? I'm seeing a box of stuff sitting right there, you know, and I never did anything. So I'm saying to myself, you know, I've seen other guys pass me by, and I just said, you know what, this is it. I'm going to try it.
So you had to inject the steroids?
Yeah, it's better. I mean, you could take them orally.
But you inject it?
Oh, I been cushion.
So, yeah, but you say that you got to that stage. There must have been that first stage with the first injection where you go through
You know what? I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I was like a virgin that got laid for the first time, and I became a whore. You know what I mean? I don't mean something. I'm going to be honest with you.
Whoa.
And with that, the more results you get, the more you want it.
Now, one of the things that
That's a hematoma, though. That's not from steroids.
That's all the blood. But
yeah, that's blood.
But you don't go to the doctor to get rid of that.
No, you got to understand, when you're a bodybuilder, you're used to medicating yourself, you know what I mean? And I just...
What, you stabbing yourself to get the blood out?
Yeah, I would stab, pull it, squeeze it, put, you know.
Okay, so you finally get ratted on. I mean, and I know, having seen your story, if you deal with drug dealers, you deal with some shady people.
Oh, yeah.
You go through a lot of hell. But you finally get arrested, okay? And there's a picture of you when you were arrested. And I wanted to ask you what you thought when you saw what you felt.
You got to understand something. Your mind is not right. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, my mind, I'm thinking, this is... I'm going to jail. I never drank, I never smoked, I never did any drugs in my life, and I'm going to jail, and they're calling me a drug dealer.
It ruined your life. You lost. What did you lose?
Oh, I lost everything.
What,
I mean,
like,
you got to remember
money?
something. See, I was with a girl, and I got her. She kind of was involved in the drug dealing thing with me, and you know, she wound up. She died. She overdosed on drugs.
So you lost a partner. You lost money.
Yeah, my mother had just died too, and I lost all my money. I lost let me tell you something. I lost a lot of money. I lost, you know, all told, I probably lost about $600,000.
And you lost respect.
The cops took. I lost respect. I lost everything.
Who's not respecting you?
Well, you know, my kid, my son, you know, because my daughter was little, so she didn't really get it. You know, that's one of the things that woke me up, because I called her from jail, and she was like 2.5 years old, and she goes to me, "Dad, did they have you tied to a chair?" You know?
Wow, God. What did you say to her?
I cried. I was like devastated.
What is your message? What do you want people to know?
Let me explain something to you. The worst thing on this world with the steroids, you know, you guys may not like I'm not anti-steroid. I just feel like I'd be a hypocrite to sit up here and go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There is a place for them, guys. I swear to God. They're made for older men, and for hormone replacement therapy, they work.
Yeah.
All right? I think they've ruined my whole sport, to be honest with you, because if you saw bodybuilders now, I mean, you know, it's out of control. But when a young guy does it, and what I mean by young, anybody 25 and under, you're crazy.
It's about, again, feeling inadequate on the inside and working too much on the outside again.
You know what it is, though? You have to understand, everybody's different. You know, you're a driven person. That's why you're here. You know what I'm saying? I'm driven in a different way. I know I look like this juiced-up idiot sitting here, but, you know, I have accomplished a lot. I've done movies. I've done a lot of things. But I'll always have, I'm like a heroin addict that always, like, sits back and says, you know, I don't really feel like doing heroin again, but sometimes I get the mood, you know? You're always
going to have to fight.
I'm always going to feel like because I'm short, you know, I'm not Johnny Handsome, you know, but I'm going to be 53 years old, so I don't think I look that old.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.